How's it going, boys and girls, children of all ages, DC comic fans alike and of all walks? I'm Brad the DC Universe Geek and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be having a look at the DC Comics Multiverse 30th Anniversary Edition Batman The Dark Knight Returns Batman action figure. This one's not exactly new, it's been out for a while, but it's new to me, so today we're giving him a review. On the back of the package, you'll see other action figures that are related to this one, part of the Dark Knight Returns series. We have Superman, of which I've got a few. We have one of the Sons of Batman, of which I actually don't have any. And then, of course, we have the classic blue and gray with the yellow oval Batman. Today, we're going to open them up. So let's do just that. Let's open them up. On your side, Batman. Time to cut this box open. Get this party started. Out you come. Snip, snip, come on out, bats. Oh. In the package you'll find one Batarang, and evidently Batman outsources all of his Batarang needs to China, and the brutally looking Dark Knight Batman action figure. I'm Batman. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, I gotta say that this Batman with the blue and the gray and the yellow is actually a little bit more interesting to look at than the original Dark Knight Returns Mattel Batman in the black and gray. I mean, even though they did use all the exact same sculpted body parts, except for that of the head, I just find this to be a little bit more of an interesting figure. Let's bring him on in for a closer look. I prefer this head sculpt over the one that came on the black and gray version. Here's the one that came on the black and gray version, and I was never a huge fan of this. I felt like it looked like a He-Man character in a Batman mask. I was never a fan, and even on the irregular release, I actually swapped out the heads and put on the Mezco head because that one came with two. This head is a huge improvement on Mattel's part for the Dark Knight Returns series. I like it. I probably will just leave it as is. I won't swap it. We have the giant yellow S on his chest, and I think that it's really nice that it's so big and so bright. I would have preferred they used a bat symbol a little bit more akin to how it looked in the comic book, rather than just the generic bat, but it still doesn't look terrible. I don't think it detracts from the figure. I just think it looks a little bit generic. You've got some shading here in the abs and in the muscles as a custom with Mattel DC action figures. Then we have that pouch belt. It's a nice bright yellow. The outside undies, we got the gloves, big buff legs, the boots. If you're familiar with the black and gray one, then this will be all the exact same sculpting like I said before, except for the head. Big billowy cape out behind him. Overall, I think that this is a really, really nice looking Batman figure. Now the articulation for this Batman figure is going to be as follows. The head is on a ball joint, so it can, go all around in a circle. It doesn't really have that much of an ability to look up and down. It just kind of, has a little bit of a range of motion. Shoulders can go all the way up, and the cape does get in the way, but you can kind of move them all around. You got the arms that can go up that far, which is, that's pretty good. They could use to go up a little bit farther, but it is the older, bigger, clunkier Batman, so nothing to complain there. For me, you have a swivel at the bicep, 360 degrees on both biceps, single-jointed elbow, and a swivel at the wrist. And that's for both arms. You have an ab crunch, and there is a lot of movement on that ab crunch. A lot of posability there. And then you also have a swivel waist. The belt does kind of get in the way, and you could do all kinds of crazy movement with it, but really, human beings only have so much range of motion down there anyway. You've got the groin, and I personally like the way that they do the groins on these figures. The underwear and the belt is its own separate part, and then you have the swivel hinge right here on each leg. You have a single jointed knee on each leg, and you have a hinged boot, not a rocker ankle, but it's still a hinged ankle there. So this action figure, for something so big, actually has a lot of articulation and a ton of pose/playability, because this Batman figure will stand up to childhood play, and so it pleases the collector as well as the parent looking to buy this for their kids. Although here in Canada, at $29.99 a pop, you probably would never buy this for your kid. So here for size comparison, we have Batman and Robin together. And you can say, wait a minute, wrong one. As I was saying, here we have Batman and Robin together, Carrie Kelly Robin and Old Man Batman, and don't they look fabulous together? The yellow in Batman's costume complements the yellow in Carrie's costume, and that bright blue looks really splendid and spectacular next to the green and red and yellow of Carrie's. I think that this is a match made in heaven, and this is likely how I'm going to display this Batman, right alongside this Carrie Kelly Robin. Here for the side-by-side comparison, we have the original Mattel Dark Knight Returns Batman and the 30th anniversary, and you can see right off the bat that the gray tones are actually different. They're not the same at all. So if you're buying this one so you can have one to kit bash, with this one, you're going to run into some problems with the gray tones. They don't exactly match up, so just be aware of that. But other than that, you can see that this is the exact same sculpt, same belt, same undies, same boots, same legs, same torso, everything, except for I've replaced the gloves from the Mezco and I've replaced the head from the Mezco. They're exactly the same. Oh yeah, and that ugly head sculpt though. Blech. Now here we have a modified version of the Mattel Dark Knight Returns Superman action figure. I've switched the head, the gloves, and the cape, but the actual blue and the red tones is what I brought this out for, to show you in comparison to Batman's, and I think that they will pose together quite fabulously. I may switch out this Batman in my display for this one, you know, on a fairly frequent basis just to change things up, because this Batman just looks really, really good. I don't think I would customize this Batman at all. And here we have Batman standing next to a couple other Mattel offerings of a blue and gray Batman. We have the yellow oval. We have the Super Friends Batman, except for I changed the cape. Not a big fan of the cloth cape on this figure, and I swapped out the belts to give him pouches. And then we also have the Adam West Batman figure here. I really need to get this entire set. All I have is the Batman and Robin, and they're the ones from the climbing set. But either way, here's we have some Mattel blue and gray Batmans on either side of him. And now we have Batman in between the two NECA Batmans, the Michael Keaton Batman on the right and the Adam West on the left. So there you go for size comparison. That's pretty much what you're going to get. All in all, right out of the package, I find this to be a Batman figure which I'm incredibly impressed with, and I'm pretty happy that I picked up. And I managed to get him for a reasonable price off of eBay rather than having to chop off one of my arms and sell it to a scalper just to get a hold of it. I live in Canada, and it's hard to find these figures unless you go to Toys R Us, and quite often they're all sold out because half the time the scalpers get there before we can. So I was very happy to pick him off of eBay for a reasonably low price. Thanks, eBay. Overall, I would give this Batman action figure a solid 9 out of 10 bats, docking only one mark for the fact that they probably could have given us some sort of more graphic novel accurate yellow and black bat symbol on his chest rather than the generic one that they use on all of their marketing. Other than that, I think that this Batman figure is almost perfect. I have no qualms with him. The articulation is just fine for such a large figure, the coloring looks just great, and the head sculpt is wonderful. If you're a repainter, you'll have a heyday repainting this figure because there is a lot of potential in this Batman figure. Myself, I'm going to keep him as is, and I'm not going to kit bash him or change him. He's just going to go like that on my shelf. And with that, we have sadly came to the end of our video, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please don't hesitate to leave a like on it. Leave any comments you have down in the comments section below because I like to hear from you. And if you think you might want to see more of my sort of content show up in your inbox, well, don't be afraid to hit that red subscribe button and you'll never miss a video. And until next time, take care everybody. See you later.